I had a lot of cookies last week, and I think I ate the Feast of the Seven Fishes 3 times thanks to leftovers. That's 21 fishes. But it's all good. I can bounce back. That's what my wife, Allison Cara, tells me. And not only is she awesome, she's also a registered dietitian, Zumba instructor, and certified personal trainer. And she's also our guest in today's news feature with Lisa Sugart.
Allison, we want to know if we're doing things the right way. We don't want to do things too quickly, but we want to eat healthy and get back on track.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's a lot to think about during the holidays. I think a lot of people, that's in the back of their mind. I want to celebrate. I want to have family traditions, but at the same time, I do want to try to eat healthy. I don't want to overindulge too much. But one thing I do like to talk to people about is it's going to happen. It just will happen. You will overindulge. There's a lot of treats, there's a lot of food, and a lot of family time is centered around food, meal times, and those are the traditions. The food is the tradition. So it's okay. That's the main thing. Right off the bat, be kinder to yourself, not to feel as guilty. It happens to us all. We all kind of dive off the path and overindulge. Now, what can you do the next day? That's where you really can take the steps to turn it around. You don't have to go on a crazy detox. You don't have to only drink liquids. Really just getting back on track with balanced meals. I like to tell people, try to focus on balance at each meal. Even if you have leftovers, because a lot of people do have leftovers and they're concerned, well, I ate all of this stuff. How am I supposed to go back to how I'm eating when there's stuff in my fridge? That's understandable. Try to incorporate it through your normal or average balanced meals. For example, if you had turkey and ham and stuffing and mashed potatoes, instead of having that all again for a meal, like we typically do during a holiday meal, break it down, for lunch the next day, have a sandwich with the turkey, maybe a little bit of cheese, some lettuce between bread, having that, and then for dinner, having the ham with your sides. In that way, you can still enjoy the meal and you don't have to necessarily feel like you're switching off, like, oh no, that was something indulgent. Now I have to go back to what I normally eat. You could still kind of gray and blur the lines a little bit. You could still enjoy those holiday foods, but working them in a little more balanced. And when I do say balanced, I mean the whole food group sections should be covered. Fruits and vegetables, a little bit of protein, a little bit of healthy carbohydrates if you can. Try to choose those whole grains if you're able to. I know it's not always possible, but if you can. And really, if you're in any doubt and you're not sure really where to start, the easiest thing I tell people, it's cliche, but it's true. You really want to increase fruits and vegetables. That will never steer you wrong. If you're making spaghetti with spaghetti sauce, chop up some vegetables, putting it in the sauce. It'll really bulk up that meal. It'll give you some extra fiber. It'll make you feel fuller longer. Especially on those holidays, we tend to overindulge and maybe have that full feeling. And you might be searching for that full feeling again the days after. And you could do that with vegetables. As far as desserts, go for it. Still have a little dessert maybe not through the whole day like we might do on the holiday, but the next day, still have the cookies that you made. Have 2 cookies. Have maybe 1 after lunch. Have 1 after dinner. Have 2 after dinner. Have 3. But when you switch your mindset into thinking, it's okay, this holiday meal is part of my eating, then it's not so much a good or bad thing, because that's what we want to try to avoid. No food is good or bad. It can be worked in through your diet. So I encourage people to do that.
And you are a Zumba instructor, correct? So give us a little plug there on where you do Zumba.
So currently I do virtual Zumba. My business is Healthy Rhythms, and you can find it on Facebook. And we do it Mondays and Tuesday nights at 6 o'clock. So it's really great, especially in the winter when the weather's kind of and not so great, and the snow and it's cold and you might not want to leave your house. You could still get exercise in. So that's Mondays are Zumba toning at 6 o'clock. You don't need weights. You could use cans, those leftover cans from the holiday cooking, fill them up. And then Tuesdays at 6 o'clock is regular Zumba. So you can
and that's a great way to get back into shape again, right? It's to start exercising again, and you're not out in the cold weather.
True, exactly. It's not a lot you can find to do inside. That's a lot of fun, but Zumba is a lot of fun.
Today's news feature is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. Remember, in an emergency, our emergency room is the safest place to be.